All right, listeners, buckle up because today we're diving headfirst into a topic that's causing a major stir, especially in the world of high security data.
Oh yeah, it's a big one.
It's 5G private networks. We're cutting through the hype to see what this tech really means. Especially for those who need to keep their data locked down tight, like our friends over at DGX Security.
It's way more than hype.
Oh, I bet.
This could be a whole paradigm shift.
Really?
We're talking a dedicated network, like your own personal slice of that 5G pie. Control and security you just wouldn't get on those public networks.
Okay, so we're not just talking about piggybacking on the regular 5G, the stuff everyone's using on their phones. This is a separate thing.
A whole different ball game. Think of it like a digital fortress,
Whoa, okay.
purpose-built just for your data. That's the core of 5G private networks.
No more sharing bandwidth with the masses, huh?
Exactly. You get your own lane. On the data superhighway, you get to set the speed limit, put up those toll booths.
So wait, does that mean no more lag when I'm trying to download those important work files?
Think downloading a whole 2-hour 4K movie in just a few seconds.
No way.
That's the kind of speed we're talking about.
Wow.
And it's not just speed,
Okay.
it's ultra-low latency.
Okay, hold on, latency. That's the time it takes for data to travel, right?
Yeah.
So the lower it is, the better.
You got it.
Yeah.
Imagine remote surgery or controlling robots in, like, super dangerous environments.
Yeah,
Every millisecond matters.
it does.
In 5G private networks, they deliver that almost instant response.
Man, that's pretty incredible. But I gotta ask, this sounds expensive.
I knew you were going there.
Well, I mean, building your own private network, that can't be cheap, right?
That's a common thought, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to see the long game.
Okay.
A private 5G network, it can actually save you money in the long run.
How so?
Think about it. No more paying those monthly fees to the big mobile companies.
Perfect.
Plus, you completely control how you use and optimize all your resources.
So it's like the difference between buying a house and renting, right? You pay a lot up front, but then you own it, and you can customize it however you want.
You got it. And when you're talking security,
Yeah.
customization is king. That's where network slicing comes in.
Network slicing.
Yep, it lets you build multiple virtual networks, all within your private 5G setup, each with its own security protocols, its own performance settings.
Hold on, you're saying we can have multiple virtual networks, all running on the same physical infrastructure?
That's the beauty of it. Think of it like different departments in a building, each one with its own secure access, its own personalized environment for government agencies. This is massive.
Okay, let's say we have a government agency dealing with, top secret, super sensitive data. How does network slicing help them?
Okay, picture this. They create a separate virtual network, just for their most classified information, completely walled off from everything else.
So even if someone hacks into one part of the network, that super secret stuff stays protected.
Exactly. And they can set up each of these virtual networks to perfectly match what each department needs. The possibilities are pretty much endless. That level of control, that security, you just can't get that with public networks.
I can see how that would be a game changer. But I have a feeling there are some catches, right?
Of course. Every rose has its thorns, right?
Building your own 5G network can't be all sunshine and roses.
You're right. There are definitely hurdles. The biggest one, the upfront investment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Specialized hardware, spectrum licensing, and then you need the right people to set it all up and manage it. That expertise doesn't come cheap.
So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about having the right team in place.
Exactly. You need those skilled engineers, the ones who really understand the ins and outs of 5G. And then there's the whole issue of spectrum allocation.
Spectrum allocate.
Getting those radio frequencies you need for your private network, that can get pretty complicated.
Yeah.
And expensive.
So it's not as easy as just buying the gear and plugging it in.
Not quite. There's a whole regulatory maze to navigate.
So I guess this is where a company like DGX Security could really step up and, be the hero.
They're in a perfect position. Think about it. They could offer a complete package to government clients.
Like what?
Consultation, network design, setting everything up, and then, of course, ongoing support.
So they wouldn't just build the network, they'd be there for the whole journey.
Holding their hand every step of the way, DGX could be that trusted partner.
And I'm guessing education would be a big part of that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot to learn about this stuff.
For sure.
DGX could be like the 5G professor, right?
Exactly. Clear, simple explanations. Webinars, white papers, case studies.
Yeah.
You got to demystify the tech, show people why it's so great. That's how you get them on board.
So they build the networks, they teach people about them, and they could even help run those pilot programs, right?
You got it. Dip their toes in the water before they jump all the way in.
Exactly. By offering all of that, DGX could be the leader in the private 5G world, especially for those government clients who are all about security.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think I'm getting the full picture now. We've got this incredible technology that could change everything about data security. But there are some hurdles. And DGX security, they're perfectly placed to help organizations overcome those hurdles.
A match made in heaven.
All right, so where do we go from here? We've talked about what 5G private networks are, why they're so important, but what about the how? How is this tech actually being used in the real world?
Now that's where things get really interesting. Let's look at some specific examples for those government agencies, and you'll see just how powerful this tech can be.
Okay, so let's get specific. We talked about the potential, but how could this play out for DGX Security's government clients? I mean, in the real world.
All right, let's picture a cyber attack
Okay.
aimed at a military base.
Oh, wow.
Scary stuff, but with a private 5G network, that base. It could have this completely separate, super secure communication system.
So even if those hackers get through, to other systems, the most critical communications, they're still protected.
Exactly.
Like a digital bunker.
Yeah, for all that command and control stuff.
It's intense.
Now, switch gears a bit. Think of a wildfire
Oh, man.
raging through a national park.
Yeah.
First responders, they're out there, equipped with 5G devices. They could tap into this network that's feeding them real-time data.
From like drones and sensors.
You got it. They'd have a live view of that fire. How it's moving
That's wild.
helps them coordinate a much more effective response.
Wow. It's like having like an extra set of eyes, right? Up in the sky watching everything. And it's not just about reacting to disasters, right? I mean, 5G could help make cities smarter, more efficient.
Absolutely.
How so?
Imagine traffic lights,
Okay.
adjusting in real time based on traffic flow,
Yeah.
all managed through a secure, super fast 5G network,
Wow.
or a citywide network of sensors,
Okay.
tracking air quality, water levels, even like noise pollution. So you get this constant stream of data to help optimize city services.
So we're talking public safety, the environment, just like making life in the city smoother. It's like, what is it, a smart city?
But on steroids.
Yeah.
And don't forget education.
Oh, right.
Imagine a university campus, but it's a living lab for innovation.
Okay.
Students in med school could, like, practice surgery,
Oh, cool.
but on virtual patients,
Wait, really?
using AR, VR, all powered by a 5G network.
Whoa, hold on. Are we talking about like holographic patients that they can actually operate on?
It's closer than you think.
Yeah.
And for research, universities could use these networks for all those data-heavy projects.
Mhm.
Climate modeling, developing AI, that kind of thing.
So it's not just about speed, it's about handling massive amounts of data without any hiccups. But what about the corporate world? Where does 5G fit in there?
Think of a logistics company
Okay.
managing a fleet of, let's say, self-driving delivery vehicles.
Oh,
With a private 5G network, they can track each vehicle live, optimize routes, even take over remotely if they need to.
wow. Talk about efficiency. And manufacturers could use it too, right?
Oh, absolutely. A factory floor where everything's talking to each other, robots, sensors, all perfectly in sync. That's the future of manufacturing.
Smart manufacturing.
Exactly. More output, less downtime, precision like you've never seen before.
It's amazing how this tech could change so many things, but I want to go back to something you mentioned, spectrum allocation.
Yeah.
Why is that so tricky for private 5G?
So it all comes down to those radio frequencies that 5G uses.
Right.
They're a limited resource, and governments control how they get doled out.
Oh, okay.
So for anyone wanting to build their own 5G network, getting those frequencies can be a real headache.
So there's more to it than just buying the equipment.
Lots of hoops to jump through,
Mhm.
regulations, licenses, and you might even have to compete with others to snag the best frequencies.
I can definitely see where DGX security could be a lifesaver there.
For sure.
They could walk their clients through all of that, right?
Absolutely. DGX could help figure out the best options, for each client's needs, navigate all the red tape, and even negotiate sharing agreements.
I bet their knowledge of security and government rules would come in handy.
Big time. They can be the bridge between, the tech world and the regulatory world.
Right. Okay, I think we've covered a lot. Benefits, challenges, real-world uses. But there's one more thing I'm curious about. Wi-Fi 7. You said earlier DGX might mix that in with their 5G stuff.
Oh, right.
Can you tell me more about that?
So Wi-Fi 7, it's the next big thing in Wi-Fi.
I've heard of it.
Crazy fast speeds. And it's really good in those indoor spaces.
Mm.
For some, combining Wi-Fi 7 and 5G, it might be the best of both worlds.
So it's not like an either. You could have 5G for like the wide area coverage and then Wi-Fi 7 for, specific spots.
Exactly. Think of a university campus. 5G covers everything outside. Wi-Fi 7 blankets all the buildings.
Seamless.
Yeah. Or a factory. 5G handles the robots on the floor. Wi-Fi 7 takes care of all the data stuff in the control room.
Makes sense.
It's all about finding that perfect mix, to match what each organization needs.
And DGX knows both 5G and Wi-Fi 7. That's a huge plus.
Oh yeah, they could build those hybrid networks, no problem. Get the best out of each technology.
It could be like the one-stop shop for all your wireless needs.
Exactly. A whole menu of solutions, all tailored to each client.
Okay, I think we've painted a pretty clear picture. Private 5G networks, powerful stuff, but not some magic solution. It takes planning, expertise, and a deep understanding of all the tech and regulations to make it work.
And that's where DTX shines. They get security, they know the government world, and they're always looking ahead.
So where do we go from here? What does the future hold?
That's the million-dollar question. And it brings us to something really exciting about 5G, something we haven't even touched on yet, how it could completely change the world of security.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of the technical details, but you mentioned 5G's potential to reshape the security landscape. What exactly did you mean by that?
It's about going beyond that, the old way of doing security.
The old way.
Yeah, like just focusing on perimeter security,
Right.
firewalls, antivirus software. It's like building a wall around your data.
Right.
But 5G, especially with private networks, it lets you get much more specific, more agile with your security.
So instead of just guarding the castle walls, we can actually protect each valuable thing inside.
Exactly. With 5G, we can analyze data in real time, because it's so fast. Spot anything weird and even predict threats before they even happen.
Wow.
That's where AI and machine learning come in.
So the security systems were always learning, always adapting, almost like a digital immune system.
You got it. Imagine a security system that uses 5G. It sees some suspicious activity on the network.
Okay.
Boom, it locks down the affected devices and even automatically fights back.
All in a few seconds.
Exactly.
That's pretty mind-blowing. But that level of, I don't know, sophistication, it seems like you'd need some serious expertise to manage that, right?
That's where DGX security would be so valuable. They could offer all sorts of 5G security solutions, specifically designed for, government agencies.
Like what kinds of things?
Threat detection, figuring out what's going on, responding to incidents, and recovering from attacks. The whole package.
So they'd be more than just the network builders, right?
Yeah.
They'd be like security partners.
Yeah, guiding organizations through this whole new world of 5G security.
I like that.
They could even offer training so government folks can, learn how to run and maintain these high-tech systems.
So it's about giving those organizations the power to, take charge of their own security.
In this new 5G world,
Exactly.
it's all about giving them the tools, the knowledge, the support to really use this amazing technology to its full potential.
Okay, I think we've really explored a lot today. The what, the why, the how of 5G private networks. We talked benefits, challenges, and how it could change the whole security landscape. I have to admit, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed,
It's a lot to take in.
but in a good way. It's so exciting to see how technology is, evolving
Yeah.
and creating all these new possibilities.
It really shows you what humans can do when they put their minds to it. And remember, this is still early days. As 5G gets, more advanced, we'll see even more amazing uses for it.
That's what makes it so fascinating, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the technology itself, it's what we can do with it. And for companies like DGX Security, it's a chance to be pioneers, leading the way in this new tech revolution.
Helping to create a safer, more connected future. It's a big opportunity for them.
Definitely. Well, I think we've only scratched the surface of 5G private networks. It's something we'll keep talking about as things change and develop. But for now, I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Think about your own work, your organization, your community. How could 5G change the way you do things? How you connect with others, how you protect the things that matter most.
The future is full of possibilities.
And it's up to all of us to explore them. to ask questions and shape that future in a way that benefits everyone.
And that's what the deep dive is all about, giving you the knowledge and the tools to navigate this ever-changing tech world.
So keep learning, keep asking those questions, and we'll be here to help guide you along the way.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.